Hello everyone. It is Tuesday and it is Ben and our live market update. So let me invite him and then can add him to the call. Let's see if he's coming in a minute. I hope everyone's having a good day. I love the sunshine so much. Send request. Lots and lots of buttons. So today I'm grateful for my family. I love that Ben and I have a pool so they can come swimming. And I'm also grateful when I have a quiet house. So it goes both ways. I can be overstimulated pretty easily with my ADHD. So sometimes I'm like, I love you guys, but I need a break.
Right.
So sorry, kids. I love you, but you're going to be over tomorrow too. So.
Right.
Okie dokie. We have some fun stuff or updates to share with you guys regarding the market and the industry as a whole. I was in my team meeting earlier today and we were talking about this last week and market trends in Pierce and King County. And it's crazy out there. So when inventory, so there's like headlines saying, oh, there's more sellers than there are buyers. It's turning into a buyer's market, blah, 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 blah. It's all noise. Is there some truth to that? Yes. And we have to get through what the noise is. So you got to look at like what our markets are, what price points you're looking at, what that plays a part into, and be able to interpret the market. What we're seeing, and I'll just talk in general terms of King and Pierce County, is last week, 36% of homes in Pierce County took a price decrease. So there's that, okay? We're seeing more days on market. We're seeing inventory increase. We were in such a seller's market of low inventory that now even that many homes are coming on the market, you still may see a seller's market in some of those areas. I don't know what happened to Ben. So how does that affect you? Housing Wire came out at a conference that I was at that, 4 to 6 months used to be like a dual market, and then 6+ months was a buyer's market. Hold on, let me get Ben back on here. Now they're saying, 2 to 4 months is a dual market or a balanced market, and anything over 4 months would be a buyer's market. So there are some areas, I would say condominiums are also, maybe a buyer's market or a dual market, a balanced market, however you want to put that. There is some areas that are heading to that. So what does that mean? In a dual market or a balanced market, sometimes the buyer wins, sometimes the seller wins, sometimes it's a win-win, right? In a buyer's market, you're more apt to probably getting closing costs paid for, maybe some off the purchase price. We are seeing that even with the inventory. So there are some opportunities out there. Should you wait? Should you not wait? These are all questions that are very specific to you. What price point you're looking in? What does that look like? Do you need to sell in order to buy? I can't give a general statement. What I will tell you is that opportunity is here on both ends, and it's always a great time to buy and sell when it's a great time for you. And we're here to help you look through those decisions and make an educated decision based on the facts that we can provide. So that's my market update. Longer days on market. Some are at 67 a month. So if you're home sitting and you're not getting any showings, that could be a problem. If you're getting 1 or 2 showings a week, celebrate those. I know it's hard to keep your home show ready, especially with the kids coming out of school here soon and everything. Talk to your agent, make a plan. You are ultimately in the driver's seat and can control what that looks like. So if you don't feel like you are getting those answers or that you are being heard or have a good plan, let us know.
I love that.
Your turn.
I love what you said with if you kids are getting out of school here in the next, hopefully 15 days ish, right? Some longer
Some
than
are
others depending on.
already out.
Yeah, some are already out, exactly. And some are going out until the 22nd. So,
Wow.
the biggest thing I can suggest if you have your house on market and you're stressed. I had a client call me today. We talked about this last week on the live, that there are options out there to help you, and they're not as expensive as you think.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to keep your home show ready if you do a bridge loan. You can move out of it, delay that for 6 months, not have a mortgage payment, which is absolutely amazing. That's one of the highlights of a bridge loan. And just for a small convenience fee. Now, I know some of them are upwards of 2 to 3%. Some of the lowest ones I've seen is only about $2,500, but they're normally right around the 1 to 2% mark for most
I
lenders.
wouldn't say that for most lenders. What I'm finding is most lenders are at 3%,
Ooh.
and that some are at 2.25, and what you guys are at is different.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, I don't mean to toot that horn, but talking to other lender partners that I know personally,
Okay.
they're that is the norm is not what you have. The norm is more 3%, 2.5%. And I lost him again. He keeps getting phone calls, so then he keeps getting bumped out. So yes, the norm for those convenience fees, which what are you paying a convenience for? You're paying a convenience for someone to take out money of your current home equity to put down on the other home so that you can go buy non-contingent, which makes you stronger offer in the market, less stress, right? And then you can pack up your house, move. The requirement for most is that you have to get your home on the market within 30 days of your closing of the purchase, but you have 6 months to sell it. So 67 days average on market, worst case right now, depending on your price point. If you're a luxury price point, I would say it probably could take 6 months. It depends on how you want to price it. So it's really important. But then you can pack up your stuff, move it on over, and then any updates that need to be done to the home can be done while you're not there. So I had a client that recently did that, and it was so much better for them. They got the luxury of getting it moved. They didn't have to worry about showings and people in the homes. That's what you're paying for. And to me, like, I, I would do that all day, but it has to make sense for you and the money. And right now in this market, if you're able to get the the seller on the buy side to pay that, because you may be looking in a market that is a dual market, or you're looking in a market that is a buyer's market or a balanced market, you essentially could potentially get them to pay that fee for you to be able to execute this program. Why do you keep getting off the call?
I've had 17 phone
Yeah,
calls
you
on this.
keep getting bumped off. You got to tell people when you're doing this. We're having a husband-wife argument.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
Everybody wants to call right now.
I know it happens all the time. Okay, so keep going. I already talked about convenience fees and what the convenience fee really does for you in the long run. So
It's about stress. And I don't know, I didn't really hear what you said, but the client called me this morning and they were against a bridge loan at first. Now they've been on the market for 3 weeks. They put it on right before the holiday. It's just been unfortunate. They will get offers. It's an amazing house. It's a great price. Just be a little patient. And, now the stress has kept them up at night. The last 3 nights, they're really, really worried. And, that 1.9% is a small fee compared to the stress that they have. And so they're all about it. We filled it out. We put everything in. We're going to get hopefully approval tomorrow. It's an amazing, it's definitely a process. I want to say, if you are listing your home right now, you're on market, you haven't sold, you have another home, you are contingent, or you're missing out on offers, call me. I will run a scenario for you and give you the third-party company we use and help you get so that you can go buy that next home.
awesome. You're face is frozen, but I can hear you.
Am I frozen still now?
Uh-huh. Your face is
Oh, cool.
frozen.
Well, that's perfect. I've
Can
got
you
full
see me?
service, so yes, and it's
Yeah,
moving
your
pretty
mouth looks like this, like that.
awesome. So my myth today, I didn't do a myth last week, but I brought a
You want
myth
me to
back
kick
this.
you off and then put you back on?
Yes, please.
Okay. Hey, let's try that again. You gotta love technology, you guys. It's always something with Ben and I on these lives. I'm telling you. But that's in the past. We're gonna say that it used to happen. Moving forward, we are gonna have technology. Amazing. We are owed some good technology. Okay, mortgage myth, go.
Nellie said I was not frozen on her end, so
Oh, well, you're
I
frozen
was
on
I
my
was
end
going
again.
back and
So
forth and making faces, so everybody
okay,
saw that.
cool.
Great.
So I
So
just get to stare at
mortgage
your
myth
frozen
this
face.
week. I did a credit one before, but this one's a little bit doing some deeper research. It says that you need a perfect credit score to get a mortgage. And I would say that's completely false. Yes, the higher the credit score, it will improve your chances of getting a more favorable mortgage rate, and it will help you maybe obtain a better program, right? Or maybe a special program, depending on what that looks like. Maybe like a bank statement loan or something like that, where it's credit qualifying. But it depends on the lenders in that factor too. Most of them offer just many options where credit scores can go down to somewhere in the 500s with FHA and VA. So with that being said, if you're turned down from somewhere or you don't feel you're ready to do that, the right thing for you to do is to turn the light on so you know where you are. Everybody knows the destination. You want to buy a house eventually. That's your goal. You want to wake up on holidays and have family and have fun and just, let your dogs roam around the yard and all that. The key though is to turn the light on and start the process. Don't do a soft pull. Don't do a pre-qual. Don't do these things that are not going to help you carve your financial future out. Do a full pre-approval, know exactly where you are, and create your plan or roadmap to homeownership.
I love it. And what I wanted to talk to you about credit too is because there is a ton of debt and $3 trillion worth of credit card debt out there through COVID and everything, and cost of living has gone up. I would say that there are quite a few people's credit who has been affected and has changed. Like they're all eager, they're ready to go, they want to go buy, and then they pull credit and they're not there.
Correct.
And so what I want to tell you guys is if you're planning on buying a house in the next 6 months, a year, whatever that may be, Ben can work with you on that. And even if your credit's like amazing, you're good to go, that doesn't mean we're going to coach you into buying a home, right? We're going to just meet you where you're at. We may have conversations about what it looks like now versus then, but that doesn't, you get to ultimately have that decision. And if it does come back that we need to work through it, give us those 6 months. We have credit counselors, we have people that you can work with. So that you guys are in the best position, but there's nothing worse that when you're ready and then we have to take 10 steps back, that can be defeating sometimes. And so I just want you guys, it's always a good time to do a check on where you're at financially and what your options are.
Exactly. You should be doing a review once a year, especially on your credit, to know exactly what's on there. Because, if you have a common last name, you may have something on there that you don't even know about that isn't even yours.
Yep.
And you could have a late maybe that you didn't mean to make, or maybe you made a payment and they didn't receive it and they didn't let you know. Ultimately, that falls back on us because we are the borrowers. We have to make sure we're inspecting what we expect.
Yep. That's my thing. I've had 3 different cards and auto pays on things, and you forget what's all on there, and then it's late, and been there just recently, you guys. So it's okay. We're speaking from the truth. So it happens. We're human.
Human. Yep. I just said that.
Yep, it happens. So, okay, anything else you want to share?
No, that's it. If you're stressed out about your mortgage situation right now, reach out to us. We'll help you.
Yep, and we got a new buyer mutual today, which is super
Woo-hoo!
exciting, and all of their closing costs paid for, and they're doing a zero down program. So essentially, the money that they're out is their inspection, their upfront appraisal just until it gets credited
Yep.
back to them. So even their earnest money, they are going to get back at closing.
Yep.
Potentially, most of it they do because the seller is paying all of their closing costs. So they don't have to take money out of their 401k and pay for that or all of that good stuff. So there is opportunity out there and they're happy and excited. And so just reach out. You never know. It started with a conversation. They're in a lease till November, and it made way more sense for them to buy now and get out of that lease than it did to wait for prices to increase, even though 37% of them are decreasing. If you're a first time home buyer right now, that is not the scenario for you.
Well, and it's so surprising how expensive renting is.
Oh my God, that's going to be my topic for next week that I wrote
Okay.
down.
Okay, because I have some info here too, and I wrote it
Mhm.
down, but we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, let's bring that up next week because that was also on the slide of the average rent for King County. I was like, dude, just move to Pierce County and
Yeah, but
get a mortgage. Like you literally could be at the same amount. So anyways, we're on a tangent. We're going to move on. Let's see. What, okay, we're going to the ocean at the end of the month. What are you most excited about our Ocean Shores trip for?
to sit with you on the bench when it's a sunny day out and watch the kids play on the beach.
I love that. My favorite is how excited the kids get to go down there and all of us together and just like playing games and hearing them laugh and like the generations of your parents down there. We've had grandparents down there. They're great grandparents now, right? So
Mhm.
it's like that part of it and is always fun. And of course, celebrating your birthday.
Ah,
So I'm not a
yes,
fan of the 4th of July on the beach. That
absolutely
is
love it.
Oh, everyone else loves it. I
Love
just, the
it's the best.
chaos of like the fireworks and things, I'm just like mama bear and like freaking out that someone's going to get hurt and this and that. So my calmness on the beach of 4th of July is not
She
always my
always
favorite.
leaves a little early, and we stay behind because it's a war zone.
Yep, I'm not doing that. Mm-mm. Nope, I'm
You're
good.
amazing
Thank
today.
you.
Welcome.
Yep, I'm not doing that. So catch
All
our
right,
videos. We'll be here next
keep sharing.
week, 1 o'clock on Tuesday. Reshare it. We appreciate your support. Bye.